Hello guys, welcome back to Literary Tutorial by Anisha Mangla. Today's topic is on Shakespeare. We would be studying many of important facts on Shakespeare, his biography, poems, sonnets and the plays. And do stay connected till the end because there are many new things which you don't know and you would be knowing through this video. Okay. Now, Shakespeare. Shakespeare, the biography I have already told you. So, this is a few outlines. Shakespeare belonged to the Elizabethan age, 1550 to 1620. Shakespeare's literary output period is from 1604 to 1608, and it is the period of his historical plays. Shakespeare's first collected edition of plays is called the First Folio, and that is published in 1623. Theatres. Now we already know that there were the many Elizabethan theatres that were there in this period. So Shakespeare also had its contribution in the theatres. He had shared in the Blackfriars Theatre. The Globe Theatre was built in 1599 by Shakespeare's Playing Company. Globe Theatre is again very important theatre of this period, and it was burned in 1613 and it was rebuilt in 1614. Now, Shakespeare's late comedies are called the romances, which include Pericles, Cymbeline, The Winter Tale, The Tempest, and sometimes The Noble Kingsman is also included in these, and these are the tragic comedies also. Three plays of Shakespeare that are set in the ancient Rome are the Julius Caesar, Antony and Cleopatra, and Coriolanus. The much earlier Titus Andronicus, though Roman in setting, is generally excluded from this classification because it is a timeless tale that does not involve any real or historical world. Means वैसे तो ये जो play है Titus Andronicus ये ancient Roman में set in है, but कुछ elements कारण इसको इसमें से exclude कर दिया गया है. Now, there are some essays which are based on Shakespeare and his plays. They are Thomas De Quincey, he wrote On the Knocking at the Gate in Macbeth in 1823, and it was published in Shakespearean Criticism. Lyland Charles Knight, he was a literary critic, and he published How Many Children Had Lady Macbeth? A.C. Bradley, उन्होंने Shakespearean Tragedy in 1904 publish किया. T.S. Eliot, Hamlet and His Problems in 1919. Caroline Spurgeon, Shakespeare's Imagery, 1935. Stephen Greenbelt, On Poetics of Culture and Interpretation of Shakespeare. It was published in 1987. William Hazlitt, he has written characters in Shakespeare's play, and that was written in 1817. Now, there is a book on Shakespeare also, which is known as Life of Shakespeare, which was published by Nicholas Rowe in 1709. Then, sonnets. The main theme of his sonnet is love. His sonnets end with couplet. In totality, he wrote 154 sonnets. They were published in 1609. Now, we know that he has written sonnet and they were dedicated to Dark Lady also. And Wordsworth said that it was this key that that the poet unlocked his heart. Now there is a long narrative poem which is The Rape of Lucrece, And this poem begins with a prose dedication addressed directly to the Earl of Southampton, which began, कैसे begin होती है वो? The love I dedicate to your lordship is without end. The poem contains 1,855 lines and it has been divided in 265 stanzas of 7 lines each. You need to know that to whom it is dedicated and how many lines it contains. Now, this particular narrative poem draws on story described in both Ovid, Fasti, and Livius' history of Rome. Then again we have next Venus and Adonis, which is also a long narrative poem. It is written in stanza of 6 lines. It was published in 1593. It is based on the stories found in the Metamorphoses by Ovid. Poem, what kind of a poem it is? It's pastoral, erotic, comic, and tragic. Now, what is the story of it? It tells the story of Venus, the goddess of love, of her unrequited love, and of her attempted seduction of Adonis, an extremely handsome young man who would rather go for hunting. You need to know what is the story, background, when it was published. So that's all that I have written in this particular point. It is a mythological poem written in 1194 and Shakespeare called it the first heir of my invention. It is dedicated to Earth of Southampton. Now, the important play by Shakespeare, As You Like It. Now, this is a comedy. What kind of a comedy it is? It's a pastoral comedy. It's based on Lord's romance Rosalind. So you need to know what are the bases, what are the, from where the particular play has been borrowed. You know that Shakespeare has most of his plays are being borrowed from somewhere or the other. Now we have Jacques in this. He is the attendant of banished duke and he is famously known as melancholy man. The important characters are Rosalind, who is the heroine, then Celia, Orlando, he is the hero, then again we have Jacques and Phoebe. Rosalind disguised as Ganymede. So we have cross-dressing in this particular play. Love affair of Sylvius and Phoebe is being seen. And we have this song, Under the Greenwood Tree. Jacques recited the poem, 7 Ages of Man. Right? Then we have the quotation in this, sweet are the uses of adversity. A fool, I met the fool in the forest. It is said by Jacques. I think not I love him, though I ask for him. Phoebe. Blow, blow, thou winter wind. Thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. We already have heard this many times, but we don't know from where it is taken from. So it has been taken from As You Like It. Hamlet. This is a tragedy and it is popularly known as tragedy of reflection. The place where it is set in is Denmark. The characters. Frontibras, he is a prince of Norway and he gave Hamlet a military funeral. Polonius, he is killed unintentionally by Hamlet. Ophelia, beloved of Hamlet. Claudius, brother of Hamlet's father, and he killed him by pouring poison into his ear. Now there is a phrase, the mousetrap, which has been used by Shakespeare. Then that means that is a play within play with Hamlet, and the play is about fratricide. Then we have Hamlet's ghost, who tells him that Claudius murdered him. We have 7 salogies in this Hamlet. Fratelli thy name is women. This is very again important quotation which is there in Act 1, Scene 2. To be or not to be. There's special providence in the fall of sparrow. The tedious wisecracking who middlesome his way to his doom. The rest is silence. These words are the last words spoken by Hamlet. Then we have Macbeth. This has been written from 1599 to 1606. This is again a very important tragedy. We have 4 tragedies. Among that, this is very important tragedy. This is set in Scotland. It is a tragedy of overleaping ambition. So we have Duncan in this. Duncan is the king of Duncan. Duncan is again a place name. He was killed by Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is also popularly known as Fourth Witch. See, then we have a quotation, life but walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frits in his hour upon the stage. That is there in the Act 5, Scene 5. Present fears are less than horrible imagining. We have this quotation in Macbeth. Then A Midsummer Night's Dream. This is a comic play which has been written from 1590 to 97. The theme of this is sexual possessiveness. It portrays the event surrounding the marriage of Theseus, the Duke of Athens. Then the play ends with Pyramus and Thisbe. King and queen of fairies are Oberno and Titania. Samuel Pepys declared that this play was the most insipid, ridiculous play that ever I saw. Means he had ridiculed this play, that this is not a good play written by Shakespeare. Then in Act 1, Scene 1, Helena says, love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged, Cupid painted blind. Then we have Much Ado About Nothing. This is a play which is included in the first folio, which was published in 1623. The play is set in Messina. And what is the theme of this play? It is the ideal of social grace, deception as a means to an end, loss of honor, public shaming. What are the characters? Hero, Brocaccio, Claudio, Lonato, Don Pedro, who is the second prince of Aragon. Twelfth Night. It is a comedy which is also known as What You Will, means that is the subtitle of Twelfth Night. It is written between 91 to 602, right, 1591, it is mistaken over here. It opens with the speech of Duke, and what are the opening lines? Volio is shipwrecked on the coast of Illyria, and she comes ashore with the help of a captain. Character: Malvolio. He is the vain, pompous steward of Olivia's household. Then we have twin brothers, Voila and Sebastian. Oliver is in love with Caesar. In this play, Shakespeare attacked the Puritan. He makes fun of the Puritan, and Malvolio say, "Oh, you are sick of self-love." Then the very important play Othello, which is again a great tragedy. The subtitle is The Moor of Venice. It is set in Venice. It was based on an Italian tale of Hocamitho. Othello, who is Othello? He is the general of England. Character: Othello, Desdemona, Brabantino, Iago. Now, who is Iago? He is a villain, very important villain. Coleridge say that he has a motiveless malignity. And he popularly says, I am not what I am. Tempest. This is written from 1610 to 11. We have the character Alonso, which is the king of Naples, and he is Sebastian's brother. We have Prospero, Duke of Milan, Miranda, daughter of Prospero, Caliban. These two characters stay in Ireland for 12 years. It included in the wedding celebration for Princess Elizabeth. Aldous Huxley, he took the hint of the title for his title Brave New World from Shakespeare's Tempest. It has the quotation, the rare action is in virtue than in vigilance. Milton's Comus, Auden's The Sea and the Mirror, Shelley's Ariel to Miranda was inspired by Tempest. Johnson said that its plan is regular. Prospero called Ariel, thou which art but air. It is the play which has the epilogue at the end. So this is all about the video of today and about Shakespeare's highlight. Almost 100 plus facts are been given. Every point is important. I have selected it from here and there. So do jot down. Thank you. If you like my video, kindly share it. Thank you.